What's your date of birth, Mr. Raineir?
4/17/26.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
I remember it was a terrible thing that happened. And I was I was 14 years old at the time, I think. And I was going to high school at the time, and I remember the teacher talking about Pearl Harbor and talking to a room full of boys. We were all 16, 17, 14, whatever it was. And he started crying. And I says, Mr. Filmer, why are you crying? He says, because this is going to be a terrible war. And even though you're only 14 or 15 now, you're going to wind up being in it. He just was very sentimental. Real nice guy. He made us feel like we were his sons, you know what I mean? It's just the way he made us feel. Good man. I wanted to go in the Navy, so I enlisted. I didn't want to take a chance of going in the Army or the infantry or anything like that. So I wanted to go in the Navy. I spent 2 years in the service, and I spent all that time going from one school to another.
Okay, yeah.
I was a radio operator, and I was pretty good at it. And so they'd send me to advanced radio school and then special advanced radio school. And I was happy with what I was doing, and I just kept learning and learning. It was great, for me it was. I wasn't worried about action. I don't know why. It just seemed like that was an Army's problem, not a guy in the Navy.
Yeah.
We went to a Navy base in California, Treasure Island it was.
Okay.
And like I said, I was a radio operator, so I had to know Morse code. And I copied the message that was sent by some official out of D.C. that the war was over, and I was able to transfer this information to our commanding officer. Because it was given to me at a watch from 12 o'clock at night to 4 in the morning.
Wow.
So that my commander was sleeping at the time, so the first thing in the morning I had on this typed out official.
So you were the guy who got the message on Morse code.
Yeah, but I think it wasn't a coded message. Yes, there was a coded message. So I had to give it to my commanding officer, and he decoded it to tell me that the war was how it was going along. Every 5 letters was a different letter, and it was in groups of, I think it's groups of 4 or 5. 5 across and 5. And all I had to do was just copy it because I was good at Morse code.
Wow.
I was able to, there was a whole bunch of us that were trying to be radio operators. But the tests they gave us, I was able to store like 9 digits, 9 letters in my mind and continue to record the letters that were coming out. And it wasn't easy because that's when a lot of guys flunked out. They couldn't store it and keep it separate. But I don't know, I enjoyed I loved the Navy, I really did. And I loved what I was doing, and I wanted to be good at what I was doing. And the whole thing kind of worked out. But then I was only in the Navy for 2 years. I was on a ship called USS Ajax.
Okay.
AJAX.
Right.
It was an auxiliary ship of some kind. We would bring material to other ships at sea, or we would go into Pearl Harbor and pick up whatever we were picking up. I wasn't that familiar with it. I was a radio operator. That was my job. I don't know. You had rules to live by. I was never in any trouble. I was never in any... I just enjoyed what I was doing. I loved copying Morse code, and it was just something that I enjoyed doing. It was fun to me. It was like playing a game. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I was 3rd class petty officer.
Oh, wow. It was really great. I appreciate talking about the USS Ajax and Morse code. And my gosh, here you actually delivered the coded message to the commanding officer that the war was over.
Yeah. But it was coded, and I didn't know it. But then he told me.
Yeah. That's
Thumbs up, we're here.